All right. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jason Levine, and thank you so much for joining me today for the Monday Creative Kickoff, where today going to be talking about some new social templates. Well, not entirely new. They've been in there for a bit, but in particular, there's a new export option, which is currently available in the Premiere Pro beta, coming very soon, sometime this month, very soon, to the Premiere Pro release version, direct export to TikTok. And while we've had destination publishing for, well, many, many years, and we've kind of revamped them since revamping the export panel that you all know and have strong feelings about. What's amazing about this one, and in particular, is that we worked very closely with TikTok to ensure that if you publish directly from Premiere Pro, your video isn't penalized in any way. In fact, it gets the same priority as if you were uploading directly from within the TikTok app. So we're going to sort of take you through that workflow, showcase some of the social templates. I got to say, and you know, I love calling this stuff out. When the team does some really good stuff with UI UX, I really love pointing that out. If you're looking to make content in Premiere Pro for any social network, and you know, again, when you're going to things like TikTok or Reels or Shorts, it's not just a matter of delivering the video. You have all sorts of things that live on the margins of the sides of the video. So you need to be mindful of, well, is this going to get cut off? Is it going to be overlaid? And then if you add captions and other elements, are they going to be seen? Are they going to be cut off? Are there certain considerations? Well, they've taken care of this with the social templates. As I said, they've been in there for a couple of months. I think, I want to say since maybe max of last year. I can't remember exactly. They're awesome. And again, it's just a great guideline to ensure that your content is visually exactly the way you want it, that none of those little blurbs or like emojis or anything are sort of covering up any crucial parts of your video. So we're going to kind of go through that and talk a bit that more. As always, coming to you live across Adobe Live, Behance, YouTube, today on Facebook as well, LinkedIn, Twitch, and X. So thank you so much for joining. I'm just going to bounce over to the chats here real quickly. Sorry if I'm sounding a little froggy for whatever reason. Maybe not froggy, just it's been, if you're in the West or in the Southwest, the weather has been so crazy. A week ago today, it was here, it was like in the 40s, 50s Fahrenheit. The next day or 2 days following, it was then 80 degrees. So it was super, super hot. And then it dropped back down to the 40s with massive rain. And currently over the last 24, 48 hours on the West Coast, and I believe Northern California, there have been hurricane warnings. So the weather's just all over the place. I'm living proof that, you know, sinuses are a drag. And, you know, but it does help radio voice if you do or are into that sort of thing. So I can see we've got Lee here, Robert, Patrick, Alex, CJ, Catherine, Umacorn. Oh, hey, Umacorn, nice to see you. All right. Amy, Clarissa, James Bryant, TJ Bolin. Nice to see you all. Hope everything's going well. All right, hold on, I'm just checking another chat over here. Video Wizard, Chris Castanova, good morning. Nice to see you. All right, now before we get into export to TikTok, my favorite social network of choice, you may recall last week something happened, or rather, something didn't happen. Well, it happened, but you didn't get to see it. It was grooving your way through Monday. I was so psyched to play some drum grooves, edit some drum grooves. I was feeling in the groove, and I still have no clue what happened. I got up from the desk, went to the drum kit over there, which you may recall, and the stream died. No idea why. Well, it didn't die entirely. I think some of it still happened on Adobe Live, but everywhere else it cut off. I don't know. I was annoyed. So I thought I would just play real quickly for you just a little bit of what you missed audibly, because it was really good. And I'm sorry you missed it. Maybe we'll do it again. Still, I have no idea what happened. You know, I've been using our wonderful Restream, and it's been rock solid, and I just don't know. I don't know. Maybe there was a glitch in my fiber network that day. I have no idea, but I thought I would play a little bit for you. So hold on, I'm gonna switch over my screen. I just let you hear this before we get into TikTok because it is, Monday morning. And of course, 9 a.m. Pacific time, the most creative time of the day. Hey, question for all of you in the chat. Let's participate. It is a creative kickoff. What is your most creative time of the day? I'm going to tell you right now, mine is not 9 a.m., but I was grooving last week, and that was just fresh. I mean, that was, put it this way, I wasn't drumming at 6:30 in the morning to warm up. So, 9 is generally not it for me, but it was okay all the same. So let's see if we can do something here. I'm gonna play a little bit of this back, but you'll actually hear me kind of walk up to the kit. Let's take a quick listen here. You hear me talking first. There it is. Also, I was supposed to have the iPad over here, but I neglected to get that set up, so we'll have to see. All right. So you hear me walking over. This tambourine attachment here. This is not 60s authentic. Talking to the tambourine attachment not being authentic. So again, and I didn't know because I didn't have the iPad over there, so I couldn't see that the feed was dead. Okay, so now obviously if I'm going to do this, I must have that set up in advance. But anyway, let me just get to, I can play the whole thing. It's only 3 minutes, but all right, just listen to it. Whatever. Here we go. Okay, finding it a little bit still. Now that is a sneaky 70s groove if I ever heard one. All right. And then I kind of change it to more of a sort of a shuffle style groove. All right, so you get the idea. Anyway, sorry, I'm bummed. I was really annoyed, and in any case, that stuff sometimes happens. And I see, yeah, some people. Oh, Tony had a problem with Restream. Again, just a glitch in the matrix. They've been awesome, and we love them. So, it happened. But in any case, I did get a nice little groove here. And that one, there's this one my little sneaky 70s section in particular, I was kind of excited about because I'm going to turn that into something. I have an idea for a new tune coming out of that. All right, now, in answer to the question, what is your favorite time of day? Oh, thank you so much, Jacob. Thank you, Sean. 5 p.m. says Lynette is her favorite, most creative time of day. Most creative time. Elizabeth, as soon as I get up from bed and get coffee, about 7. Really? Interesting. That's impressive. Now, mind you, I've talked about this on stream. I'm a 5 a.m.er myself because I work out at 5, and I'm very, very motivated and very, very not angry, very, very just at 5 a.m. That's not a creative or musical time for me, though. It's a blood pumping, build muscle time for me. So I don't know where it is. It's definitely, I'd say, probably mid-morning or mid-afternoon. I guess it just kind of depends, if I'm being completely honest. Because there are days where it can groove entirely, and then some days it doesn't matter what time of day it is, it just sucks. So, it's different for everybody. Lee says morning for me. Salem, maybe 10. All right, it's very specific. Nice. So, all right, I've got a couple more here. 5 4 p.m. All right, yeah, a lot of afternoons. Yeah, you know, it just, 8 to 9, all right, nice, lead, 9 a.m., 11 p.m. for Catherine, 6 a.m. to noon for Robert, 8 to 9 for Lee. Yeah, you know, you just have to, all right, I find it when I can get down to it, I have less distractions, kids aren't up, says Elizabeth. I mean, that's part of it too, you know. Actually, sometimes just being in silence with no distraction, it can just hit you. Yesterday, watching Pro Bowl, had to take a little break from Pro Bowl. I'm annoyed Peyton's team didn't win, although congrats Eli. But came up here, hadn't played my my Rickenbacker in a while, plugged in, and it was so great. And I felt so good, and I felt so loose. And that was just a half an hour in the middle of the afternoon on a Sunday, or I was basically lounging, doing nothing. So I wasn't even inspired. It just, I don't know, it just came about. Okay, 11 minutes in. Let's get to social templates. So here we are, and if you start a new project, and specifically this is how you'll be able to access the new project templates in the Premiere Pro beta, or actually these I believe are also in, the templates are already in the release version, but it's specific to creating a new project. This is when these are revealed to you, and this is possibly why you may have missed them already, is that when you start a new project, of course, up at the top of the now commonly encountered import panel, you have your project name here, your location, and then you have project templates. And here is where you'll see we have broadcast templates, social media templates, and standard template projects. So we're gonna focus on the social media template project here. All right, so let's go ahead and select that. By the way, this is just because I chose a new project, this is the sample, the default sample footage that we've had in here for quite some time. I believe this was all captured via Devon Supertramp, if I'm not mistaken. Old friend of ours here at Adobe. And then of course you got all of your, all your settings. In this case, I'm not gonna choose any media just yet. The idea being that I'm gonna start with this template and then, maybe import some other media, whatever, for my project. We'll get to that. So let's go ahead and create this. And when you do that, it's gonna pull up a couple of things here. Now I've already got this this one project open for you because we're going to integrate this into the templates. But let's focus on what happens when you create that social template project. So your first thought may have been, well, why aren't they broken down by social networks? Well, you'll see that when you choose the social template project, it does just that. It actually relates here to Facebook stories for vertical, Instagram Reels, TikTok vertical, X, nicely renamed, square vertical, YouTube ad universal safe zone and horizontal, square, or vertical, and YouTube Shorts vertical. So basically all of the most common encountered formats for various social posts. Curiously, I wasn't aware that the X standard is 675 by 1200. Doesn't necessarily shock me, but there it is all the same. And the one, of course, that we want to focus on here is TikTok. So if you've ever used any sort of project packs or sequence packs, once you launch one of these, let's go ahead and choose the TikTok Vertical 916. This is what you get. And this is, again, where I say, I actually love how we've designed this. Now, what you're seeing here, of course, are overlays to represent all of the various elements, UI elements that are, out of your control on screen in that particular app, right? So, as you have all these things along the right side, your user, and then, one of these is likes or comments or, whatever it is. All of the stuff here related to the engagement. Then you would have, typically this is the person's name and whatever hashtags or description. The music, assuming they're using, TikTok's suggested music, which helps with engagement as well. Got a bunch of things up at the top here. So these are the kind of things that, before this sort of era, you didn't necessarily always consider, but it's important. And it's particularly important if you have specific things in your video. In a time where a lot of the social videos, and maybe this is changing, this isn't really my specific wheelhouse these days, but you see a lot of the sort of pointing, directing videos here and there. You want to make sure that stuff isn't getting cut off. And more importantly, you can see there's even a, let's say a title safe, action safe along the side here that says if you've got content along these edges, this will be cut off. So this is really important. It's really good to know, right? And from there, it'll tell you, if we just go ahead and, so the first layer here, this one, it's telling you, replace this layer with your content. Now, I did notice the other day when I was kind of running through this, it says max video duration is 1 minute, and keep me honest here, and again, not a serial TikToker by any stretch, but I believe they've long since extended that duration. So we definitely need to update that. But in any case, and then it's telling you, of course, the aspect ratio. So you would ultimately replace this layer with your own, which I've done. We'll go to there in a minute. And then this one here represents all of the overlays. So, you know, even if you just want to kind of keep this on as you're building, as you're designing your template, this is awesome. And, you know, if we go to something else here, I hadn't even looked at all of them. Let's take a look at the YouTube Shorts one. I mean, it's basically, basically the same thing, right? Slightly different elements on screen. So that's the key. Slightly different shapes, slightly different. You know, it's interesting too, if you look across the TikTok one here, this is just one of the things I noticed, like, slightly different sized circles. These top and bottom are the same. The 4 in the middle are smaller. A lot more text elements up here versus the YouTube Shorts one where they're all the same. Or actually the bottom one is only slightly larger. I don't know. I think before I got so into working with graphic designers, I probably would never even noticed all those different things. Kind of makes you look at this stuff slightly differently too. You're like, oh, okay. It's interesting how there's just subtle differences here and there. Oh, and then it's also worth pointing out. Now, in the case of TikTok specifically, because that's what we're focusing on for direct publishing, you have, of course, the ability in Premiere to generate captions. And we've given you 2 sort of default options here so you can see, and they're just, again, suggested ideas here. This is a caption with a bold style to get the viewer's attention. Sure. And then you can, again, it'll sort of show you what these look like. What does it say? Use speech to text to automatically treat. Yeah. All right. So that's kind of one idea here. That's on caption track 1. Then you've got a slightly more subtle caption. Okay. And this will come into play when we get to the publishing side of this, because, and this is just something I've heard from some of our own evangelist team who use TikTok a lot. Now, of course, you can do everything in Premiere and then publish to TikTok. So that means you can add your music, you can add your captions, you could dress it up, finish it. You'll see all the hashtagging options and description stuff you have here, and then publish direct. Good to go. Of course, what you might rather do is publish in a draft mode and then use TikTok to add their captions, which are sort of standard, commonplace things that, it looks the way people expect them to look in the position people expect them to be. I imagine you could change all those positions. But you're leveraging their stuff. Music is another good one. If you add music here and publish there, you're not using their suggested music, and you're not adding it in a way that, grabs that artist, adds it to the post, has little sort of animated, what is it, a treble clef maybe, or it's a quarter note, I can't remember, which just adds to the engagement. Now, as mentioned, you're not penalized in any way by publishing direct, but if you want to get the most out of it, in my sort of short-term research here, I think the draft way is the way to go. So let's talk about that. Okay, so what I did ultimately, proof positive here, was take a video that I made some time ago, which we showed here. This is already a year and a half ago. Then called Project Shasta, which has now become Enhance Audio, which then became Enhanced Speech natively in Premiere. So this was a video that I did. Now, I made it sort of blind to, I knew TikTok had these overlays, but I did it sort of unaware, not really thinking of all of that. And I got lucky in the sense that if I kind of scroll through it here, oh, here, let me just turn the audio off. You need to hear all this while I'm scrubbing. It was, you can see there's actually some areas where I'm slightly cut off, but overall pretty good. Not too much kind of in the way. I didn't have any text or anything in the lower quadrant there that was going to get in the way. So it basically worked. It was fine. But it could have been a little better had I known. Again, the original framing, I'm in the center, so there's really no mystery there. But it's fun to be able to see that so that you can really design to the template. All right. So if we go into export, Sure. Oh, actually, here, let me go into, I added a different one in this. Let's go into this one here and go into export. Okay. So here we are in our export panel. Again, destination publishing. You can see the variety of the options. Now, again, today we are in the Premiere beta. This will be coming to the Premiere release version this month, very, very soon. Scott Thornhill, I could go for a Shasta Cola right now. That dates you a bit, Scott. It dates me too because I also drank Shasta Cola back in the day. Also, is Shasta still around as a soft drink? Is it? I don't drink soda anymore. I haven't drank soda in forever, so I don't know. But I want to say I think it is. I'm curious. Let me know. Robert is saying, by the way, minimum 3 second, max 10 minutes. Minimum 3 second, max 10 minute TikTok or 90 seconds. Maximum is 90 seconds for TikTok? I swore I saw like 3-minute TikToks. So yeah, if someone can confirm that, that would be awesome. All right. So you can see all the various destinations. We're focusing on TikTok here. Key point is, and we want to emphasize this, and we can say this safely, and I don't say this lightly, and I checked it a million times so that I'm telling you something that is verified. You will not be penalized publishing direct. It's effectively the same as if you uploaded through the app. That was not always the case with some of the other destination publishing locations. That is the case with this, and we worked very closely with them to ensure that. Super cool. All right, so you give it your file name, you give it a preset. Now, this is, again, because this is sort of a kickoff learning stream, so I want to point something out here. Now, this is today, and perhaps this changes in the near future. This is something that I called out. You know, it's going to go to sort of the default preset here. Now, again, the original project is obviously vertical, but the default preset is widescreen. So that's not what we want at all. So it may behoove you to build your own preset, or in this case, just choose a match source. So that way you're ensured that it's exactly what you had there. We should have that, frankly. So team, let's make that happen. But match source is great for this, and that's typically what I've used for the few shorts that I've uploaded. Match source just works great. H.264 is the format you want. Sign into your TikTok. Okay. Now, when we get to the type, you'll see here that we have post and draft. And this is what I was talking specifically about before, is that you can post direct without any sort of deprioritization and how they showcase it on your page and to your followers. That's awesome. But if you do draft, it gives you a little more flexibility because then you can go into TikTok and again, use their captions, use their stickers, use their music suggestions, and then publish. And it's really the best of both worlds. And you have the ability to sort of check it on device to make sure that's exactly what you want. So I would vote for the draft option here. You then, of course, can add captions. All right, I'm just gonna go back to post here because I'm not logged in, so it's not gonna let me do that. You could choose your poster frame. So this is also very cool. Now again, if I were doing Project Shasta, I might use that. You could choose something else. Fun little laughing frame there. Again, use current frame and it automatically snaps the frame right there, which is pretty great. Choose your privacy. Make it private if you so desire. And then you have options here to allow users to comment, duet, or stitch. And then once you're done with that, you simply export and you're good to go once you're logged in. Now, I would have loved to have shown you this. Curiously, as I went to verify yesterday, my TikTok account was permabanned. I don't know why. It didn't have any posts to it. So TikTok, if you're listening, yeah, you banned me, and I don't know why. So I'm gonna look into that. But in any case, it's real simple, and it's awesome. And this is the way that you should do it. I also love that we now have all the icons in here. It's again, really nice UI. It just looks cool. Good job with all that. And it's really simple. So if you start with the project template, you create against the template, you have those sort of safe zones. Again, for all of us old school video cats, title safe, action safe, it's the equivalent of that, right? It's telling you, beware, don't publish stuff in this region because it may very well get cut off you've got icons and things in the way. So if you have specific things that you're trying to call out on the right side, just be mindful of that, especially along the top as well and on the edges. It's really, really well thought out, really well done. And this is going to be coming to you very soon. But it is, of course, accessible today in the Premiere Pro beta. All right. Clever. I don't know what you're talking about there, but I have questions. Okay. It does, in fact, save a lot of time directly in Premiere, says Salem. That's awesome. Z by HP. Too many shark puppet videos. Yeah, I don't know. And I'll tell you, it was my Adobe Jesus was the name, all lowercase, because the community said that about me some 10 years ago. There were no posts. I don't know how it got violated, but it just did. And, whatevs. Hopefully they'll respond and let me know. So until next time, my friends, have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. We will see you again next week on another Creative Kickoff. Have a wonderful Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.